What's up guys, welcome back to the next video on learning PHP. My name is QDS Danny and you guys watching my channel Coraywood. Alright, so if you look at here guys, we have done first name, last name, and look at here favorite sports: soccer, tennis, cricket, baseball, and gender male, female. So if you select this one, either one of the selected. The reason I didn't do like email and password because that's for future videos. I'm going to show you. I don't want to confuse you now because I just want to introduce you guys with these check boxes and radio buttons. This is called radio button and this is called checkbox. Okay, so we have a first name and last name, which is text, and we have all this, and we have a registration here. So if you look at our code here, we have a form, and our form, the first name is that's the label, and look at the type, it says text. The type, it says text for the last name, and favorite sports, the type you can check students favorite book or my favorite hobby, anything as long as it's array. Keep in mind our sports is array. If you look at here, that's our array. We have gone through array before. We know our index array, our associative array, our multi-dimensional array. So if you look in here, there's a radio button, and there's radio button is the name is a gender and the value is male or female. So we just take the value of the, see this one says the value of the baseball or cricket, tennis and soccer. So we get the value of these check boxes, and we get the value of this radio button, and here at the end it says submit. Alright, so now we're gonna come here at where our login, because at the moment we don't do login for the future videos. You guys need to learn how to put the data inside the MySQL first, and then how to fetch the data, and that's for the future video, how we're going to authenticate the data whatever the user is going to put it. So that's for the future video, but it's very good for us to come here, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit about the PHP. Alright, so because we are learning PHP, we are not learning Bootstrap. Okay, so if you look at here, this guy here, it says isset. So what do you guys think of the isset? Isset, as I show you guys before, I made a video about the isset. Isset is a boolean. It says is it set, is it going, is it working, is it anything that come is in PHP is a boolean. So you guys can say assign a value, say for x is equal to 5. So you can assign x is equal to 5 and say this one says x is set x, and you can do that value of x. And if you want to see that one inside the word dump, I have shown you guys the word dump as well, and you guys don't need to be confused. So we're going to move everything inside the word dump, and this is a video on I made on isset, and the whole video was about the isset, so you guys should be familiar now by isset. Okay, so we're going to come here and check on line 37 as word dump. So we're going to check here the word dump. It's a PHP. We have a problem here. Okay, so we had an error here. Our okay, so if you look in here, it says the word dump. It says CWM64 WW form is, that's our path, and it says boolean and it's true. Why is true? Because the is set, that the x is set. So what about if you to say the we put another one and the value is not set? For example, say we put it here, bottom is set alien. Okay, so we're gonna look at the word dump, and it says it's false because the alien doesn't exist. The first one is true, and the line PHP line 39 is false because this alien is false because alien doesn't exist. So how about if you come here and says we have a y, and we put a y to null, for example, and now we're gonna come here and look at the third one, and instead of putting y, we're putting null. Okay, so we're gonna go on the third one, and it says it's false because the value is not set. You guys can't put a null. You guys, if the user leaves this empty, it means we don't get a value. So how are we going to get a value? How the PHP gets a value? So we're going to come here in our code, says dashboard. You guys remove that one, and just because we put a post, we could put a get. So in PHP, there's a get super globals, it's a get and post. So if I do that, it says, if you guys look in here, there is environment, it's a super global, get is super global, post, files, cookies, server, request, and session. So they're all super globals. Why they put a $N underneath and capital letters? Because they don't want anyone to do it by mistakes, because they are highly important super globals in PHP, and they have all of them's got a function. So at the moment we're looking for a get, and we're looking for the files. Then in the future we're going to go environment, then we're going to go to file, which is images and everything, then we're going to go on cookies, then we're going to go to server, which you're already working, then we're going to go to request, how we're going to request the data from the user, and we're going to how we handle the request, and the session, which the user comes in and starts the session. So when you guys go on Facebook or somewhere and you log in, you start the session. This Facebook at the background starts the session. PHP starts the session. Sessions have all the data, all the cookies data and everything. So we're going to go one by one in the future videos. So now we have here get. You guys can your form either use method get or post. So either the forms putting the information or getting the information, fetching the information. So when you go say at the form, because this register is taking your name and putting inside the file, that's what we have to put a post. But when the user goes there and you want to fetch the user data, say the user's friends, which I'm going to show you guys in the future videos, then we're going to get a get, because we want to get the user data, we want to get the fetch from our database. All right, so how we getting the user database? So if you remove that one and put a get here, and when we come here and we say our name is Q and our last name is Yazdani, for example, and my favorite sports is all these three, and I'm say male, and I register here, I'm gonna come Q, because I didn't I'll have to come here, and I have to refresh, and I come here, and if you look at here, it says localhost, the forms, and then there is a question mark. It says first name, this first name is this name, our first name, and Q is equal to Q, and last name is equal to Yazdani, and sports is equal to soccer, and sport is equal to tennis, and sport is equal to cricket, and gender is equal to male. So if you look at here, all these here forms, then slash, then there is a question mark. This question mark here, it means it's get. The question mark by itself, if you look in here, it says question mark. If you copy this one here, all this info, if you copy that and to analyze this information here, you go on YouTube, the same, you're going to see the same stuff. So this local host is form, that's our form, the first part, and that's a folder, because that's in after this one the index starts, and after index is like index.php, and the reason you don't see the PHP, that's the reason you don't see the PHP. Okay, and by default, because every PHP starts from that's the entry point index. Okay, first name is the first name, which is this one, the first name, the name you guys put it, and when the name you guys putting the name is very important, and when you put a last name, the name is very important. When you guys come here at the last name, the name is very important. And if you look at here and sport, and if you look in here and we put a sport, this array, and I have gone through you guys. We have a index array, we have associative array, we have a multi-dimensional array. We have shown you guys. I've gone through the arrays, so you guys should be very familiar with the array, because we have an array and we have a gender, which is male and female. We have 2 values for the gender. You can't have like 6 values. Okay, so here is we have a sports, and at the end they have all info. So if you look in here, it says percentage mark percent. That's the way PHP puts the data. That's the way. Don't worry about this one. That's the way the PHP puts. Say if you sport and it says soccer, that's the way PHP renders everything. But you see, all our information are in one line. So that's how the PHP gets works, because the PHP is getting the data at the moment. It's not posting the data, as was the case that before, because we are getting the data. So when we go on our website, and if you guys want to take the user data, that's how the PHP gets the data, and that's how you guys watch them. So sometimes you go on the YouTube and press the video, and because the YouTube gets the video from the database and show you guys. So that's how you guys see this one, my favorite video, whatever video, and you see the question mark and the video name. And if you come here, when you guys go hover on that one, and if you look in here, and sometimes you see on the PHP gets the data and from the database and show it to you guys. So that's how the get and fetch works inside the PHP. Alright, so now if you guys look in here, we have used the post, and we have seen how you guys use the post. That's a super global. So how about if you come here and we put some information here, and we get the, say, user data. Say here we're gonna come here and say underneath the form and under the div we're gonna get some user data. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna say we're gonna redirect the user to the dashboard.php, because the user is gonna go on dashboard, and on the dashboard we get all the user information. Okay, so here we gonna put something like welcome, and here we are gonna put something like get. Okay, so we put a isset. We put the same as the top. Here we put a if isset post. Instead of post, we put a get. So how we gonna do that? We're gonna come here and it says if isset, and what we're gonna isset is dot get and what's the variable name, what we're gonna want to get. So here I have done the post, the first name. If you look in here, I'm getting only this one, but now I want to get everything. So how you guys gonna get everything? The only thing we're gonna get is that we put a type, and the name is gonna be submit, and we're gonna get this name of the submit. Okay, so we're gonna come here and we put our submit here, and we're gonna echo our whatever we get from the user. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna print R. So what I'm gonna print R is super global, which is get, get. So that's what I'm gonna get. Okay, so now we have first name, and we're gonna show you guys the first name, and how about we're gonna get the second name. So how we get everything from the user. Okay, so we're gonna come here and we say my first name is, say, Michael. My first name is Azad, and my last name is Yazdani, for example, and I like the sports, soccer, tennis, and cricket, and my gender is male. So once I click, you guys looking here that I have everything. So how about we move this one to the index here. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna get all the info here. I'm gonna put it here, PHP. I'm gonna put it PHP, and I'm gonna put all the data here. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna put Azad. Second one I'm gonna put Yazdani. Then I'm gonna put some sports, everything. Then I'm gonna put a mail, and I'm gonna register. And if you guys look in here, we see array. Our array is the first name is gonna be Azad, the last name is gonna be Yazdani, sports gonna be array, 0 is soccer, 1 tennis, and then it's gonna be, because we only chose, I think, how many chose? We chose 2. So I'm gonna choose 4. I'm gonna put again. So if you look in here, we have array. First name is Azad, last name is Yazdani, sports is array. If you keep in mind, that's array, and that's our first name. That's our sports here. The sports is here, and we put it as array. If you look in here inside our print R, we're getting the information. So that's the array we're getting from the user. And you look in here, that's a soccer, the tennis, cricket, baseball, and gender is male, and submit is registered. So that's how you guys get associative array. So that's there is a key value. We have a key here, and we have a value here. We have a key value, and sports is array, and you guys already know array. That's how we gonna display. That's how PHP displays array, and there is a gender, which only one value you guys see not many values, because we get the value of m. So if you look at here, we're getting the values I told you before. So we're getting the values of m, because the name is gender, and this one the name is sports. We are getting the values of this guys here. So with the checkbox we're getting the values, but with this one's we're getting that all this. So we are referencing the names here, and that's associative array here. If you look in here, because we have a key and we have a value, key pointing to the value, just like a dictionary. You guys going to say Antarctica, and there is a key you guys putting in your dictionary, and you guys getting the value of that key. This means the meaning of that whatever the value is there for Antarctica, whatever information. And if you look in here on the dashboard, you guys getting, say, first name is Azad, last name is Yazdani, and sports is array, and all the way here till our form is finished, just exactly like a YouTube. If you guys go on top and notice, that's what you guys get. That's what you guys get in YouTube or any other PHP which renders here. So you guys get the same information, because you know why we're getting this one, because we are putting the get, and we are putting the get here. So because we are getting every information, whatever the user's putting, whatever the user's submitting. Alright, so we already know how to use get. So if we change this one, we put, say, we post. So we're gonna come here and we say post, and whatever, see how it works with the post. So we're gonna come here, and instead of get, we're gonna put a post, and we're gonna see everything on the dashboard. So we're gonna go back. So in the post, you guys see the only thing we're getting is Azad, because it's posting whatever equal, because at the here Azad you're posting the equal. We already have a post here. So that's how the post works, and that's how the get works, because at the moment we are getting only the name. We are only echoing the username. So that's what it works in the PHP. Alright, so that was the isset. In this video, I'm going to recap again isset and word dump. We have seen isset, which is a boolean. Isset is work, is gone, is whatever it is. So you guys can see in a word dump, and here you guys see here the first name, which is the text, the second name, which is text, and you guys have here all these check boxes, which is the arrays, and this one radio button, where there is two values, and that's how we're getting from the user all the issets, and how we're getting all the information from the user with the get value. Alright, that's it for this video, guys. If you guys got any comment, or if you guys don't understand any part, leave in comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.